amingizile mayaya amingizile ngeumbwata waiza wasisameno kala ingangu mwebani pesakane
nakobanga bino te nakobanga nzambe na ngai alleluya chivundu JJ Pierre Lokuta eyaka na ascenseur, vérité eye un escalier pe ekumi.
Tout le monde en position, merci. Champion.
Chile le prophète de la sape. Makoto va solution et Swama. Mokolo bilanga. Kombo nanga liyandi. Bango bazaki na masasi kasi bakoki koboma ngai te. Qu'est-ce qu'ils sont mais l'homme prudent voit le mal de loin.
Good morning and good afternoon. Buenos dias, buenos tardes, bonjour, bonsoir. How are you all doing anywhere you are? My name is Emmanuel Power. I'm talking to you from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. And today we're going to be breaking some information regarding Africa and BRICS pretty much. As you guys, you know, we are live every Saturday in Eastern Washington, D.C. or New York time. I mean, in Africa, of course, East Africa is every Sunday midnight, which is 1 in the morning. So I appreciate you to join us in the studio. We're going to have a special guest from South Carolina, Brother Eugene Tafford will be with us. But before we go through those information, I would like to go over Pan-African calendar. As we do every day, we review Pan-African calendar. We are African nationalists or African Black nationalists. I do not like to use the word Pan-Africa because Pan is a Greek god, and then you add Africa on it, so it does not sound well. It's like what they call in Western countries, I mean US specifically, there's something they call Divine Nine, which is Greek sororities and what is this, fraternities. How do you call something Greek and then come back and say it's about Africa? So it's same thing too, as well as Pan. Pan was a Greek god. So, but when we talk to people who are now much informed about that, who just say we are a Pan-Africanist, there is nothing wrong with that. But in big sense, we are just African Black nationalists. We are people who believe in the United States of Africa. And today on Pan-African calendar, we got a couple of things. Here. Number one is we have Mr. Haile Selassie. Haile Selassie of Ethiopia. He's our topic, or he's our individual we're going to be talking about today on Pan-Africa calendar. So I'm going to share with you very quickly too his information. So Haile Selassie in Gaze, as you can see that he was also Tafara Mekonnen, that was his original name, born in the 23rd of July 1892, and he died 27th of August 1975. So today, exactly here in Ethiopia, is 27th of August. So for that reason, we are talking about him on Pan-African calendar. So we lost him. He was assassinated during the coup that took place here in Ethiopia in 1975. Haile Selassie was imperial leader of Ethiopia who actually helped to free or to fight colonizers in Ethiopia-Italian war in 1930s. Not only that, he's believed by Rasta Safarians to be a Messiah. They believe that he was a messenger of God or a savior. I don't know how you can say that, but anyways, if you guys were anywhere you are, I think you may have Rasta Safarian people. So anyways, that was number one. So that being said, I think that's all we get for Pan-African calendar. If you want to get a Pan-African calendar, please let me know there is a number that is going down on the screen, so we can send that to you on soft copy, so that you can watch, and also maybe you can suggest something to add on it for the Pan-African calendar. So now let's move on to our topic today. We're gonna be talking about BRICS, BRICS in Africa. But before we go there, I want to leave you with this small video, and then I will come back so we can discuss.
We have reached agreement on the guiding
latest BRICS and Africa Summit news.
As the 5 BRICS countries, we have reached agreement on the guiding principles, standards, criteria, and procedures of the BRICS expansion process, which has been in discussion for quite a while. We have consensus on the first phase of this expansion process, and other phases will follow. We have decided to invite the Argentine Republic, the Arab Republic of Egypt, the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, the Islamic Republic of Iran, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates to become full members of BRICS. The membership will take effect from the 1st of January 2024. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. Let us know what you think of these new members. Was your country on the list? Are you looking forward to the future of BRICS? Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, yeah, you are my African queen. Ooh, Lord, ooh, Lord. Just like the sun, light up the earth, you light up my life. The only one I ever see with a smile so bright. And just yesterday, you came around my way. You changed my horse in way with your astonishing beauty. Oh, you couldn't make a brother sing. No ordinary thing, a supernatural being. And no, you are brighter than the moon, brighter than the star. I love you just the way you are. And you are my African queen, the girl of my. You take me up, you make my heart go ding-a-ling-a-ling. Oh, you are my African queen, the girl of my dreams. And you remind me of a thing, and that is the African beauty. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, you are my African queen. Oh, Lord, ooh, Lord. Out of a million, you stand as one, they are standing one. I look into your eyes, girl, what I see is paradise. Hey, you captivated my soul. Now every day I want you more. I cannot deny this feeling I'm feeling inside. Hey, no one cannot take your place. You cannot take your space. And it's a fact I cannot erase. And no, you are the one that makes me smile, make me float like a boat upon the Nile. Girl, you are my African queen, the girl of my dreams. You take me where I never been. You make my heart go ding-a-ling-a-ling. Yeah, you are my African queen, the girl of my dreams. And you remind me of a thing, and that is the African beauty. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, you are my African queen, and I know, oh yes I know. You are my African queen, and I know. See, I know what I am feeling in my heart and in my soul. Oh, I know that it is love, and I know that this love was surely sent from up above. Cause you're the only one that I think of. You are my African queen, and I know that it means that you're the only one that I will serve. I'll give you my heart, my love, my body and my money. Every other thing you think of. In a man who could think of anything better than you, who could think of ever hurting you. Sacrifice my all, I'll give it all to you. You are my African queen, for real. You are my African queen, the girl of my dream, the girl of my dream. Yeah, I've never been. Oh, Lale, you are my African queen. You are my African queen, girl of my dream, my African. You remind me of a thing. Oh, that is the African. So black, so beautiful. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Munyemo, I love you, I love you, I love you. Munyemo, I love you, I love you. Oh yeah.
That was my African Queen, the music from, I believe it's Ghanaian music, if I'm not mistaken, or Nigeria, can be one of those. Sorry for that, but we're trying to bring you back in days. So we're back now on, we're going to be discussing about the major topic we have today in our hands, which is BRICS in Africa. BRICS in Africa. We also want to make sure that you tell us, what do you think about the BRICS in Africa? And why is this something that a lot of people are almost excited to see? What is going on
to address the challenges we've kept on talking about for a long time and on many platforms. One, that we need to reform the global order.
Welcome to Candid Africa.
First, let me congratulate President Ramaphosa for hosting this BRICS summit and inviting many of us to the summit. Thank you, President Ramaphosa. I also wish to effectively and firmly endorse the importance of this summit in providing us with an enhanced opportunity to work with the BRICS countries to be able to support our developmental agendas in our individual Africa and elsewhere. We wish to express our appreciation that this forum provides to enhancing our partnership and in fostering development, as I said. And because of the importance of this platform, Mr. Chair, I simply want to express what we believe are critical. As Zambia, COMESA countries, we see this as a rare opportunity to address the challenges we've kept on talking about for a long time and on many platforms. One, that we need to reform the global order, in particular to address the inequities associated with critical ingredients to development, such as capital. The cost of capital is what I'm talking about.
So he said that we needed to change global order. What is he talking about now? What is in there for global order? Is just one of the things I want to talk about. So now, what is BRICS, first of all? Where did the BRICS come from? What is this thing, BRICS? What is this, So let me share this with you, the little short information about BRICS, what people call BRICS. What is that? So BRICS was, here it is, history of BRICS. So BRICS is actually is acronym or the abbreviation together of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So it started in 2001 as BRIC. So there was no S on it because that time South Africa was not part of that. And then the name actually was coined by Gordon Sachs for Brazil, Russia, India, and China, as I already said. Now, later on, they added in 2010, after 10 years almost, they added South Africa. So South Africa joined the BRICS in 2010. So 23 years ago, that's no, 13 years ago, pardon. That's when the BRICS, the South Africa joined the group of these people. Now, so and then it's estimated that those countries in the BRICS will have growth of around, they would have the biggest growth, economic growth in 2050. So 2050, those countries will be on the top of the market. And the member of BRICS are also, or the founder member of BRICS, which South Africa was not part of that, were also among the five, they were five among the member of G20. So the G20, you guys know what is G20, those countries that are like US, I believe, is US, European Union, always trying to come like one, but there is Canada there and other countries such as Germany and France and so on. So they were part of the BRICS came out from the G20. So now, what should we expect or wait from such institution, which is BRICS? Why are so many Africans are excited to be, even some countries are excited to be members of BRICS? As I was reading, I found out that actually Nigeria also applied to join BRICS, and Algeria, and some other countries in Africa, but they were rejected. So possibly soon or later, we will have them on board. So as you already hear that, I don't think I have to repeat this again. BRICS on the summit this week or this past week, it depends where you are. They added 6 more countries. So they added Argentina in South America, and they added in Africa. They added Ethiopia, Egypt, and then those are the 3. And then they added in the Middle East, they added what's called the Middle East, but Great Africa. Let me use this one is the correct one, because there is no such thing called the Middle East. That's Africa, is ours. So they added Saudi Arabia and Emirates, United Emirates, and Ireland. So pretty much those are the countries they added on it. So now we have Argentina, Brazil, 2, South Africa, 3, Ethiopia, 4, Egypt, 5, Iran, 6, Emirates, 7, Saudi Arabia, 8, India, 9, China, 10, Russia, 11. So now they are in BRICS. But one of the things is very unique is that in BRICS, there is no one single European country. Yeah, there is no one single European countries in BRICS. That's number 1. Number 2, France wanted to attend the meeting or the summit like other countries did attend the summit. I was watching Cuba. It was there too. I think they were attending that. And France was rejected to attend the BRICS summit in South Africa. Now, why are they rejecting European countries? Is it because possibly NATO? Because the countries that it seems like there is a battle fighting between what they call order way, and then the new way of things are run. So they rejected the country to attend the summit, France. So now, why is this even matter for Africa? Because they are trying to drag Africa into this, and African leaders, we have not learned one single day how to come together ourselves. We always unite when someone calls us. Let me repeat this again one more time. I think it's Pierre Lumumba. He said that Russia can call African leaders and they will all go there. China can call African leaders, they will all go there. Turkey can call African leaders, they will all go there. But African leaders never call themselves or never support each other, in other words. So why do we have to find unity among ourselves as Africans outside of Africa? Because the African Union does support to unite us, have fairly completely to unite Africans. So hopefully each one of you guys understand what I'm saying, because this is obviously true. So why do we have to wait outside of other people to bring us together? You know, why don't we actually bring ourselves together and figure out our stuff? We avoid our leaders. In fact, not on our leaders, I think it's all Black people in general. We never ever try to unite ourselves without being pushed by another institution or another people at all. Anytime we don't come together, in fact, if we come together, we come for destruction. We don't come together as ourselves. So like you guys, you know, Black Lives Matter was put in by Soros there, and then he promoted that to destroy most of the culture. That's the Black Lives Matter I'm talking about. But there is a lot of institutions, Africa Union, which is supposed to be the first institution. It was put together by Charles de Gaulle, the general of France, who put all the money to establish the African Union, which is the failure institution or organization, as you already know. The only time people have tried as Black people to come together is when you see this red, black, and green flag behind me, which it was the time of Marcos Garvey. Marcos Garvey was the first person and possibly the last one we have so far to bring the Black people together and to do our staff or organize people on ourselves and establish some kind of movement for Black people in general. So after Marcos Garvey, there have not been one single movement of uniting African people or bringing African people at home and abroad to join one movement or one together in general. So I think that we definitely have not get a chance to be able to see that at all. So what then should we do? What's up? What is going on here? So anyways, BRICS is, I think, is possibly the most of it's gonna provide some fruits for Africa. I grant you on this. There is some of the good things it's gonna come from BRICS, and among of those is possibly to create unity among some of the countries, especially if you guys, you know, Ethiopia and Egypt have not been at least for a long time, since when Ethiopia was trying to build the Renaissance Dam until today. I think there is almost Cold War going on between those two countries. So I think BRICS will help these two countries to figure out how to handle this, how to handle the situation or the problem. That is number one, I think. Number two, I think BRICS will help some countries that have been blood sucked by France to be able to kind of free themselves in terms of the natural resources being taken to France. As you guys know, there is, in fact, it seems like there is even World War III, as I said before, that may happen in West Africa with Niger, not Nigeria, Niger and Nigeria. Nigeria, it seems like, is acting in behalf of Western countries trying to attack Niger, its neighbor countries, which they share same ethnics, by the way. The Hausa people are Niger and Nigeria, but so if you look in that, I think BRICS will help those countries to be able to get off from France and establish some kind of framework that will possibly help them a little bit, but not that much. But also, I think BRICS may corrupt the World Bank and the International Money Funds, the International Bank of Settlements. I think you guys know those things, because the World Bank is the most of criminal organizational institution that Black people has ever have to face globally. I'm telling you, globally, that is the worst like institutions or a payment or settlement or financial institution that Black people will have to face. Why? Because when it comes to the loan, when it comes to the values of the money, the World Bank and the International Money Funds, they are the worst ones, because they will put your loan interest always. In any African country, the loan interest is very, very high. When I say African countries, I'm talking about the country people with skin like this. So I think this BRICS will possibly corrupt that. Now, there is other things maybe I think the BRICS may do. I don't really know, but I think also the BRICS will possibly once you get it powerful, because it seems like it's fighting to get it powerful. Once it's powerful and it's connected very well, it may come back and kind of switch or make threats to the United Nations. So we will see on that. But all of those, pretty much, I don't think there is something that we Black people should wait come from the BRICS in terms of our salvation, our liberation. So liberation of Black people will only come from African people, or liberation from Black people as well. So let me leave you with this music, then I will come back. We're gonna go over the history of BRICS, and why should African people either join it or not. But even if they join it, they should be careful, or they should watch out, even though if they may join. Give me 1 second, then I will come back after this music.
Quand j'avais un peu haut, matin, midi, soir, on était ensemble à la rue Princesse, au milieu maquillot, à salle pour prier la vidéo. L'argent est fini, en tout a changé de côté. Paris Bana, elle a changé de côté. Dieu merci pour moi, je savais chanter un peu. J'ai fait ma cassette, on peut voir la télé. Matin, midi, soir, c'est moi, je chante à la radio. Quand tout a dit ça, tu le cas où a pensé. Attends, je vais partir le couper. Et on dit premier gaou n'est pas gaou. C'est deuxième gaou qui est nyatao. On dit premier gaou n'est pas gaou. C'est deuxième gaou qui est nyatao. Dimanche matin et coco, on frappe à ma porte. À ma grande surprise, c'est la go en touche voix. Assemblage j'ai dit, oh, il y a longtemps, c'est plus revu. Elle veut me mentir, elle dit chérie, j'avais voyagé. Je suis de retour, je t'appartiens. Prends-moi cadeau, fais ce que tu veux. Mais on dit premier gaou n'est pas gaou. Deuxième gaou qui est nyatao. J'ai dit chérie coco, qu'est-ce que tu veux manger? Ça même est sitôt. Elle me dit poulet braisé. Tout à on te dit premier Kaou n'est pas Kaou. C'est deuxième Kaou qui est Nyatao. Je dis chérie Kokwe, c'est poulet tu veux manger. Poulet est trop petit, ça fait pas de la sasier. C'est caïman pressé, je vais te donner. Et genoux d'éléphant, tu vas manger. Nangere, nangere, wa. Nangere, nangere, wa. Elle est fâchée, elle s'en va à la maison. C'est pas la maison, population va me tuer. Je lui ai demandé pardon et elle a accepté. À un moment donné, elle a tout gâté. Elle est quittée dans le poulet, elle s'en va dans le logo. Et ici c'est à logo, c'est pas compliqué. C'est plantation de bananes. Tu vas crier. Au lieu de fourchettes, ça fait pas bien piquer. C'est avec gâteau, tu vas manger. Nangere, nangere, wa. Nangere, nangere, wa. On dit premier Gaou n'est pas Gaou. C'est deuxième Gaou qui est Nyatao. On dit premier Gaou n'est pas Gaou. C'est deuxième Gaou qui est Nyatao.
Ministers and advisors, ladies and gentlemen, I take this opportunity to welcome you all to this China-Africa Leaders Roundtable Dialogue, which I am co-chairing with President Xi Jinping. This dialogue has been convened to consider the role of China-Africa relations in supporting the goal of regional integration in Africa, as outlined in the African Union's Agenda 2063, promoting the movement of goods and capital is vital for the future growth and prosperity of our beloved continent of Africa. African economic integration promises by President Xi Jinping to deliver tangible benefits BRICS chairship in fulfilling the African agenda. To African growth is going to be the African Continental Free Trade Area, and through this, we hope to be able to boost economic growth on our continent. It will also lead
深化合作发挥重要作用。中方愿同南非一道，为加强中非合作以及金砖国家同非洲合作做出行。时隔5年，再次面对面同非洲朋友。
That was China's President Xi Jinping talking about how the Africa need to hold hands with China or with BRICS to be able to fight. I don't really know, but anyways, so why am I always so conscious and careful with China? Me personally, last time, I think it was yesterday, I was watching one of the reporter from US, I don't know his name, I think it's Don Bombino or Bongino, something like that. So he was talking about how China owns so many things in US. I think if you are in America, you will understand what I'm saying. So a lot of American people, especially white folks, and that being those conservatives most of the time, they are saying that China owns so many things in America, so it's buying lot of things in terms of property. I think he mentioned Hollywood, that China owns Hollywood now almost, but also he mentioned that no, that is not actually him, but another reporter was mentioning that China is actually financing politicians in US. So there is a lot. If you look, I think he mentioned that Joe Biden budget and his son as well, they were getting money from China. So China is very, very unique when it comes to the relationship between China and America, but also with Africa as well. And don't forget that is it true? China have so many investment and money, and you know, and so many things in America. Someone sent a message said that Russia and Russians people have never colonized or enslaved African people. That is absolutely true. I don't talk often about Russia because we don't have anything to accuse Russians as Africans. There is nothing. You can find one single place where Russia was part of any small scam that took place in Africa, or anything that did with rooting or mistreating African people. Historically, we don't have that. Okay, there is nothing such like that. But we can't trust 100% like that is gonna be like that forever. Once Russia maybe get a power, they will turn to be like the other ones as well, because there is not much difference between either. Me personally, I just call them white. Okay, all white people, we should not be completely. We should not trust them like that in that level. But Russia, no, Russia has not done anything so far, but China has. So China is abusing many Africans, in fact. So in many places, China is bringing employees to do a lot of projects in Africa, while we cannot send anyone to go to work in China. We send our people to study there, but not to work there. Even if that happens, they are mistreated. And those employees China sent to Africa, they get paid 4 or 5 times more than they could have if it was an African who's working on that project will get paid. So I think it was South Sudan where a driver was getting paid more than the money of engineering in South Sudan project that is done by Chinese. So anyhow, China, I'm gonna stick with China a little bit because I want you guys to understand about China. So China, in a sense, is very, very unique. Why? Because I call China like is a wife of Western countries. A lot of people do not know this, but I think you should research this. China, the People's Bank of Shanghai, I think is Shanghai Bank. Shanghai Bank. Let me see. Is Shanghai Bank? Yeah, I think it's a Shanghai Bank. Shanghai Bank. Yeah, is this one? Shanghai Banking Corporation is commercial bank company. It's called H. Let me share this maybe. So this bank, which is the biggest bank and possibly among the oldest bank, Shanghai Bank, is this one here. So Shanghai Bank, let me see here. Shanghai Bank is called also HSBC, Hong Kong. So the Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation Limited in Chinese, commonly known as HSBC, is the Hong Kong-based Asian Pacific subsidiary of the SBC Bank Group, for which it was the parent entry in 1991. The largest bank in Hong Kong operates a branch of office throughout the Indo-Pacific region. So it's actually is now operating in China only. It goes outside of China. So this bank here was actually created by John D. Rockefeller. The people who created the World Bank, people that I was talking about before, people created the International Money Fund, then what is this? The National Reserves. What is the other things they created? All this kind of money going on around, those J.P. Morgan's banks and so on. They're the one who created it. They are the one who also created the banks in China. So in other words, the money that you may think China has is theirs, and I can prove this as a fact because it's on the website as well of John D. Rockefeller Bank. It's a Rockefeller Foundation. You can see the history of how they implemented the Shanghai, Hong Kong, and the Shanghai Banking Corporation Limited. So back in 19, I think it was around the 1920s in that area. So, anyways, that being said, that is number one. Number two, Chinese own so many industries or business in America, in Western countries, in fact, but also plus a lot of Western countries owns a lot of things in China. If you do not know, you can imagine Nikes. Where do you think Nikes actually have produced their shoes? It's most of the time in China. Where do you think Apple store or iPhones, all those iPhones are assembled at? They are assembled in China. Where do you think is so many business anyways? So some people in Western, they created a system where they go to China, they take the money there, they do their things, and then they come back. And then they actually also, and the Chinese, those elite Chinese, they come on another side, and then they do same thing as well. They do the same thing to the Western countries. They own a lot of business. They own a lot of loans, and so why then should we trust the China to that extent? That's the whole question. BRICS, I don't have any problem. I don't know exactly, but also when let me stick in this. Let me put this on there too. Maybe you guys can listen to this. You guys, the history of Argentina. Yeah, you should know the history of Argentina. So the history of Argentina is the first country to actually extinct or eliminate or genociding black people almost 100%, if you did not know. And now the Argentina is going to be another part of the BRICS in South America. So what is that? What is that saying? It's like you putting like, I don't want to say this, but anyways, so BRICS is something that African countries or African young people specifically should be very, very careful with. But another point I want to make on this is the idea that the Western countries have been pushing the electronic money. I don't know if I show you that, but I think I can show you that as well now. They are trying to make every transition in terms of money to go through the to be done electronically so that they can control, because them people, they have the technology, so they want to control every transition or every money that is happening so that they can keep the world in their hands, which is also China doing to controlling people movements and people's ideas or opinions or thoughts, and trying to kind of be themselves. They're trying to act like they are gods, So China is not behind. Let me see. Let me see if I can find this very easily. Yeah, I think it's this one here. Yeah. So the whole problem with this is that once people trying to push technology that will be able to actually controlling people, is let me give you this, and then I will come back and then I'll talk a little bit about this as well.
Soon you will be able to pay for groceries at every Whole Foods in the US with just a swipe of your hand. Amazon says that the Pay by Palm technology will be at all of those stores nationwide by the end of the year. Customers just have to hover their hand over the device to pay. This method is already being used at 200 Whole Foods locations across 20 states, and you can also find it in other places, stores like Panera Bread. Hardware editor at TechCrunch, Brian Heater, joins us now. Brian, let's just start off. Tell us how this technology works.
Sure. So in terms of the actual enrollment process, the first time you go to one of these Amazon One locations, you wave your hand over it. That will enroll you in the program, and then you associate that with a credit card that you have on file. In terms of the actual underlying technology behind it, it's not actually getting a read of the palm itself, which I think is what most people expect. It's actually taking a look at the vein patterns underneath your hands, which Amazon is effectively saying is a way to do this kind of biometric identification without actually giving any identifying information away.
That's fascinating. I mean, I think anybody who hears this story immediately goes to questions about safety, privacy, the data that's being collected. Amazon has been criticized in the past for some of the data that they collect, and whether they have properly notified consumers about that.
Yeah, so I hope you understand what she's saying there. So she's saying that let me remove this. She's saying that the data and the safety of that. So the technology they are putting there is not only scanning your thumbs or your hands or your fingers, it's also going inside. So we don't know what this technology can do. Maybe it's reading how your blood is moving or whatever it is. I don't know. But so why is this part of what we are discussing about here? Is because this technology, it has become like a dictatorship in some sense. And I don't think BRICS or any other institutions we have today is gonna move off towards this path of trying to implement more technology than what we need. Because obviously some of the technology, they are good, but we don't need them. I don't think there is any need of me scanning my hand to Amazon or any other company and keep my hands and my veins and my blood and all of those things for any reason. So, and as you know, I think in Western countries, each country have established what they call what is this money, electronic money or bitcoins. I don't know. There is another word they use. I can't remember exactly which one it is that. But so this kind of money is very scary. I don't think BRICS will be able to avoid this as well. To be able to keep money in the sense of being money, because the problem we have with money, the reason why economy is falling is because the Western, the dollar, which is the Western leading kind of weapon that they've been weaponizing or they've been using to destroy any country they don't want, is that it's just paper. They can print those paper out and they can distribute to the people without having any consideration of the backup values of it. So it's just trusted to be what it's said to be, even though it may not be. So so I don't know if the BRICS will create another kind of money that will possibly have some backing up values, like maybe diamonds or gold or something, because the money is supposed to be backed up by gas. But obviously it's not. The fiat currency that we have from Nixon, who is the one who removed it from the gold backed up money. So the money we have today is backed up with nothing. It's just paper that people can print, and then you just trust to be worthy of what they are saying. And if you don't behave the way they want, the G8 is a G7, the Freemason G7, they will definitely sanction your country, like Cuba. You guys, you know that. What was that one? Venezuela, Zimbabwe. I think even in Ethiopia, Eritrea is another one. It's been under sanctions for maybe the past 30 years, maybe now. And now they are sanctioning Uganda as well. So I don't know if they will create another currency that will actually take down the dollar in the sense of having at least a currency that has a backup. I think Putin, he says something like that, but I don't know if he mentioned the currency and how it's gonna be played. But let me give you his speech a little bit, and then I will come back and give it to you final thoughts on the BRICS in Africa and why African people, instead of hoping or like trusting in BRICS or in any other thing, we African, we should trust, or we should try to create our own platforms and institutions that only take care of Black people, because it doesn't matter what. At the end of the day, Black people will always be looked down and just not giving us full attention as we deserve, because most of the time, if we ask those things, it's going to require people to pay us back. And that is something that people, countries like France or like British or like, England, like US or like Canada, like Australia, they can Germany or Belgium, they cannot afford to do that because the price or the cost of paying us back is too high. For instance, if you ask Australia to bring our original people that they eliminated from what is so-called today, Australia, they cannot do that because they genocided all the people. Or if you ask the white folks to pay for what they did in South Africa, they cannot do that. Or if you ask France to pay back Haiti, or they did the damage they did to Haiti, they will not be able to do that. So the reason why they avoid any settlement, sometimes they come on media and they say, hey, forgive us just by wars, but they don't pay anything. So it's because they fear that we will ask reparation, which is still going on, in fact, in the US today, United States of America. So let me give you Putin and then I'll be back.
Уважаемый президент Рамафоза, уважаемые главы государств, коллеги, дорогие друзья, дамы и господа, хотел бы прежде всего поблагодарить Южноафриканское председательство за организацию сегодняшнего столь представительного заседания в формате BRICS плюс Outreach. Такой формат общения очень важен. Он предоставляет хорошую возможность для предметного обсуждения актуальных вопросов взаимовыгодного сотрудничества с теми странами, которые в значительной степени разделяют подходы пятерки, то есть с нашими единомышленниками. Рад всех вас приветствовать, дорогие друзья. Мы все с вами выступаем за формирование нового многополярного миропорядка. Миропорядка, который был бы подлинно сбалансированным и учитывал суверенные интересы максимально широкого круга государств. Открывал бы возможность для реализации различных целей развития, помогая сохранять многообразие национальных культур и традиций. Хочу отметить, что BRICS ни с кем не соревнуется.
And BRICS is not competing with anyone and is not opposing itself to anyone. But it's also obvious the choice of a new world order still has fierce opponents who try to slow down this process, to contain the emergence of new independent centers of development in the world. The countries of the so-called gold billion are doing everything in order to preserve the previous unipolar world order. They are comfortable with it. It benefits them. They try to substitute the world order by the rules-based order, although no one has seen these rules. And they use these rules for their narrow interests, and they adjust them to fit at any time in accordance with the interests of certain states. In effect, the same colonialism in a new package. By the way, it doesn't look so good. And modern-day colonizers, under the guise of benign matters of human rights and so on, try to resolve the problems at someone else's extent by pumping out resources of someone of other countries. The president of Brazil mentioned the debt burden of developing countries. Well, of course, on one hand, they pump out huge volumes of resources, and on the other hand, they create a sort of credit relations.
Yeah, so you hear that he's talking about the New World Order, which was the is that Bush and his father's agenda to create New World Order. But what is the New World Order anyways? And why a lot of people don't want to be part of this kind of things called the New World Order? One is that the New World Order is actually the world that is led by the Western leadership, but they have been in leadership anyways for a long time. So why is because like at least 500 years, as I can remember, the Western have been leading the world in destruction. They colonized people, they enslaved people, they killed people, they lynched people, they destroyed, they commit genocides in every country, everywhere they go, not only in Africa, but in Asia. So, and now, why do they need a new world order? For what? So what is that new world order is about, you know? So the new world order, from comparing to the world order that we have or they've been reading, is that this new world order is gonna be a world order of them kind of polluting the global culture and religions specifically. They're trying to destroy all religion, the family structure, the human values, and all of those kind of things. So that's what actually the New World Order is all about. It's not something, people don't just hate the New World Order because it's just bad. It's because the world order they are talking about to build is a world order of like fascism with a technology, dictatorship, medical tyranny, and technology censorship. Those are the things that you're gonna find in the New World Order. But also to try to eliminate or to kill anyone who they call useless. Useless to them is people, specifically Black people, who do not have a lot of resources. They call us, we are just consumer. We destroy environment. That's why you see they invest, the G7, they invest so much money in environment more than anything, because they believe that we, the regular people or citizen, average citizen in New World Order, we are consumer, we are destroying environment, we are useless, we don't need to be here. That's pretty much what they think. But it's not only Black people, by the way, also white folks. who are poor as well, they are also in the same package. It may be little higher, but we are on ground. The Black people are the first one, especially African people. So that's why they create any kind of virus to try to eliminate Black people. That's why they create the sickness. That's why they create the conflicts and wars in everywhere, because in the new world order, they don't want useless people like us and you as well. People are not millionaires. People who are not willing to do things like crazy things that they do. They don't want us to be there. So the reason why you see, as Dr. Umar Johnson been saying, that I'm talking to my fellow Black people now. I'm not talking to white people or Hispanic, non-African in general. No, I'm not talking to you guys. If you found this to be offensive, please, I'm sorry, but I'm talking to Black people. The reason why you see they are pushing this homosexuality is because they believe that if they push homosexuality, we will not be able to increase the population. We will not be able to keep moving. Even you can see what they call parenthood, something like that. This is Planned Parenthood, the things that took place in America. It was even condoms. Let me use condoms for instance. The abortion, the Planned Parenthood, all those things were being directed to Black community in America specifically. And you know what happened in Haiti as well. You see what happened in Africa. They created HIV. It did not finish us. Then they come up with Ebola. It did not finish us. Then they come up with malaria. Malaria, trust me on this. Malaria can kill people in Africa, especially like in Tanzania, where I grew up. It kills so many people, but also you pass Egypt, there is no more malaria. So they create all of those to try to eliminate Black people, but we still survive, as the Bible say I think it was in Genesis, when the Egyptian, they want to kill all the people of Israel, and then apparently they could not, and they decided to actually call all the women who were taking care of the deliverance, or I can't find the word is in English, but anyways, so they say, hey, if anyone bring the deliverance a boy, kill that baby. So they're trying to kill us, and now they're even trying to kill our babies in the wombs, but still we are increasing. So now they decided that, like, look, even the virus as well, they put the virus around, and then we still not finished. So they don't know if, in fact, they are confused now, according to some of those eugenic. I don't think it's even eugenic. Eugenic is a good word. It's not even eugenic, because eugenic is something. It's the original is from Greek. It means something very good. They are evil. Let me call those evil people. They think they can decide who to live and who to die. So the New World Order, anytime you hear that, it's just another. They want to be God, they want to be able to have the last to say on everyone's life in the world. That's what the New World Order, by the way, means. It's nothing more than that. Those white folks, they have so many groups here and there. Some they call them sect society, some they call them like the hidden institutions, and whatever it is, who care? But them, they think that they are the one who have last thing to say. So now they're gonna maybe have to face maybe BRICS, because I don't think Vladimir Putin and some Chinese, but I don't trust China, by the way, but I don't think Putin will allow them to do that, because it seems like he's very, very serious with the culture. He's very serious with his country. He's very serious with religion as well. He's very serious with the human being in general, the existence of human being. Because as Elon Musk said, that technology can be a very big problem if we don't be careful, because we have reached to the point where we can destroy our own existence. So if we can destroy or change our own DNA, and then we may not have the seed of original human. And so I don't think Putin, he's gonna let these people do that. I don't know, but who knows? He may be one of them. Who knows? So I think, in my opinion, that BRICS, I think it is good, is continue to push that. Maybe it will open door for us. If we African were smart, we should take advantage and then now create something for our own, while they are fighting in BRICS and the G7 and NATO, and you know, those Western going on and here and there. But I don't know. I don't see our leaders to be willing to do that, because a lot of our leaders, I found out, they're still stuck in ethnic conflicts, religion conflicts. They still some kind of confusion, and a lot of our leaders don't even have enough information to say. So nobody really told them that this is happening because of this. So anyways, so that being said, I think in a sense, BRICS is a good idea, but also in another sense, we as Black people globally, we should not put all our legs inside BRICS, because it does not hold our salvation. Our salvation, what needs to be done for Black people, must be done by Black people. That is completely, I believe it's from Marcos Garvey, if I'm not mistaken, but there is another one, he say, the leadership that teach you to depend on another race will soon or later enslaves you. So we have to depend on Black people only. No one we should depend on. We don't depend on Turkish. We don't depend on Ukrainians. We don't depend on Russians. We don't depend on France or England. We don't depend on Cuba. We don't depend on Brazil. We don't depend on Australia or Japan or whatever, China. Or you mentioned it. We don't depend on Arabs. We don't depend on American Indians. We depend only on Black people. So that is the leadership that will keep us surviving and thriving on any condition. So pretty much, I think, for my last comment on BRICS is that, one, I think it will possibly end the presence of France in Africa. I think it may put that and that would, but I don't think BRICS will come and fight the interest of Black people in the sense of reparation. For instance, those genocide happened in Congo by Belgium. The genocide happened in Namibia by Germany. The stealing by British, the gold and diamonds in South Africa, the Anglo-American company that was part of the apartheid in South Africa that has not been addressed until today. I don't think BRICS will even look into that. But and you know, if we don't get reparation for all those things happen to us, and I'm talking about this, but I also don't forget Haiti. Haiti too need the reparation. They need their money back that they paid to France. So I don't think BRICS will ask for that, because obviously, if that happens, we will have something to start with in order to build our economy. I don't think the money that France been taking from those 15 country, preview country from a pack of continuation of colonization, I don't think BRICS will go there and ask, hey, France, please pay this much money. Or I don't think BRICS will ask France to be responsible of killing Muammar Gaddafi and destroying Libya to the way it is today. I don't think they will do that. I don't think BRICS will ask the rebuilding of Somalia that the United Nations and the US destroyed in 1993. I don't think BRICS will do that. So what am I trying to tell you here is that Black people liberation must come from Black people. It's not going to come from BRICS. It's not going to come from African Union, which was created by France under General Charles de Gaulle. It's not going to come from ECOWAS. ECOWAS is lost or institution anyways. That one is out. I don't even know why people still have any hope in that. It's not going to come from East Africa Community, because that one also is It's finance backed up by European Union and so on, as ECOWAS does as well. So it's not gonna come in of course in the United Nations. Don't even think about that. It's not gonna come from US AIDS, or I don't know if it's aid or AIDS. I don't know which one it is. But anyways, so pretty much I just want to tell my fellow African, I saw so many people are posting videos. They look like they are very hot. Man, come on now. What are you talking about? Serious. Be serious, man. BRICS is not African institution. It was not founded by African people. We just come on board. We did, like, South Africa was included in 2010 and the BRICS was created in 2001. So after 9 years, South Africa was the first one to jump on board. But so in those 9 years, we don't know what they've been discussing about. We don't know. It's just like, you know, hey, this bus is going this way, so this one is going this way. Say, come in. Can you come in? Yeah, I can come in, you know. But we don't know exactly what is on ground. It's something happened to United Nations. When they established United Nations, we joined the United Nations in the middle. Or look what it has done for Africa. Or international, the World Bank, it's the same thing. So we did not create none of those things. It's the same thing like Harlem Renaissance, the movement that was created to stop Marcos Garvey go back to Africa movement. Harlem Renaissance was created and shaped and polished by people who are not African, but under the names of African. It's like NAACP, NWCP, whatever it is. It's something. It was created by white people, by using black people, so that people will think, hey, this is our institution. But it has never been an institution for black people at all, even today. So I think we black people, we need to understand that if we don't put money in any institution, even in the beginning, or even if we jump in when it's moving, but we don't put money in there, we cannot be part of it. I was watching today the financiers, Mr. Barack Hussein Obama's financer or sponsor for his campaign for election in 2008. And the first one who gave him too much money, it was the University of California. They gave him around, I think it was 100 million, something like that, something like in that area. And the second one is Goldman Sachs Bank, something like that, something like that. So those are the people who he worked for whole time he was in the office. He worked for people who give him money. So we didn't give black people. We went to the what is Barrett to put the votes inside there, and we thought we were doing something. And guess what? Now it's in a mess. Obama, he changed civil rights that Martin Luther King Jr. he died for, and he changed the civil rights to homosexual rights. So now is how do you call that? It's called minority. No, it's not minority. It's what is the name they use now? So they putting together all of the homosexuality, the queers, the G, the B's, and all those homosexuality going on. The minority, the Hispanic, they are in there now. The immigrants from Africa, they are in there now. That's not our business. Martin Luther King did not fight for our rights as African. If I live in Africa today and I go to America, I have nothing to do with what Martin Luther King was fighting for. He fought for black people who are born, who are descendants of slavery. They are my brothers, of course, but in that area, we are separate. Okay, me, I'm an immigrant, and they are there. They have been facing those things. So in that case, of course, I would be happy if they get whatever they get, because they are my brothers and sisters. And sometimes I may be treated the same way they are treated. But he did not fight for me. No, that absolutely not. What he was fighting for, those civil rights, whatever it is, for schools and education institutions, what he was fighting for it was not me. It's not for African immigrants. It's not for Russian or Chinese immigrants. It's for only black people. Now it become homosexuality, it become Chinese students, it become whatever it is. It's a mess completely. Why? Because of black Hussein Obama. He removed it from being civilized to gay rights. You know, now is I don't even know if it's gay rights anymore. So why? Because we didn't give him money. We did not support him. We did not put him in office. So we just vote for him, but we did not support him financially. And it happened even in Africa as well. I was watching how the Ghanaian president was elected from Harvard school. There is one of the president who was actually elected and say, hey, you run to be a president of Ghana from Harvard in US. So how can you imagine a leader like that who is elected from Harvard University by white people to go to run for election to be a good leader for Africa? So Brother Eugene, I see you are online. Do you have anything to say about BRICS in Africa?
Yeah, well, thank you, Brother Money, for tuning me in this evening here in the United States. Hello, everyone. I'm Brother Eugene Talford, reporting live from Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm one of the executive producers of the New Africa Network, and we're here live today on August 26th, bringing you live news from myself and Brother Amani from Ethiopia tuning in. And we just want to thank everyone who tune in to listen to what's going on. Today's topic is about the recent BRICS summit that was held in South Africa. And we are here to relay the news and the information to the people so that you can make informative decisions about what it is that affect your lives. So, Black Power, we definitely want to just reach out and say a little bit about what BRICS consists of. And BRICS is the grouping of a world economies, which consist of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and now with the recent sign-on of South Africa. It was formed in 2010, and which was a predecessor. The original acronym, which is known as BRIC or BRICS, was coined in 2021 by Goldman Sachs by an economist. His name is Jim O'Neill, who described it as a fast-growing economies that were combined interests that is predicted to be a collective dominant global economic system or alliance by 2050. BRICS is a combined area of 3,746,000,000 miles, and it is estimated with a total population of 3.2 billion people and about 2.76% of the world's land surface and 4.15 as a global population. Brazil, Russia, India, China among the world 10th largest countries by population as an area, as a GDP, and the lateral 3 wide considering the current emerging superpowers. All 5 states are members of the G20. The G20, with a combined nominal GDP, is estimated at 28.6 trillion. It is about 26.6% of the gross world product, and the GDP total is 56.65 trillion, which is 32.5 of the global GDP PPP. It is estimated that this alliance could have a combined resource that is very tremendous and will be effective with the change of how the world sees economics. BRIC was originally identified for the purpose to highlight investment opportunities, and it was formed not just by an intergovernmental organization, but since 2009, they have increasingly met and formed a more cohesive geopolitical bloc, with the governments meeting an annual at formal and having formal summits, the coordination of multilateral policies, bilateral relationships among the BRICS, and it conducts mainly to a basis of a non-interface equity, which is being formed as a mutual benefit to all those who are participating in the BRICS alliance. On August 2023, 15th BRICS Summit took place in South Africa, where President Cyril Ramaphosa, and it was announced in Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates had been invited to attend this year, and they've also been invited to become full members. So there you have it. That's a little information about how that BRIC alliance is being structured. And of course, for many of us Africans, we see it as another meeting and alliance similar to the Berlin Conference that took place in the 1800s, dividing Africans apart from each other, as well as dividing the continent of Africa itself into parts in which each colonized nation took equity for themselves. And control still is a part of many of the African governments today by the colonizers. And so we are trying to figure out, is this a strategic move for Africans being a part of the BRIC alliance? So there we have it. Brother Amani has definitely given us the rundown of how all of this has accumulated over the years. And we are here to solve African problems. As the new breed leader African generation, it is our responsibility. And now that we are at the age of our parents and our grandparents, it is up to us to form the necessary alliance amongst one another, being African people, being a new breed leader African generation, to make sure that we are not being gotten over on. So Black Power, there you have it. We're here with the BRICS discussion today. Brother Amani, how things are going there in Ethiopia, brother?
Well, I'm pushing very much. Everything is going okay. I think you know that there is possibly war going on in Ethiopia, as Ethiopian they do all the time. Yeah.
Well, that seems to be a trend among all Black people wherever they may be, even here in the nation of Babylon. Always fighting amongst each other instead of fighting the real enemy. So that's definitely been a problem. That's also been a discussion amongst members of the New Africa Network, and certainly with members of the Afro Diaspora Political and Economic Think Tank. What is going on that keeps us in confrontation with each other? You know, from the politics to the economics, and basically a lot of this stuff is not really making any sense to the new breed leader African generation, and we are trying to figure out, do we need to get rid of some of these puppet people who have been put into place that has been stagnating Black progress? And this has been some serious discussion. And so we feel right now in our day and time, 2023, this is the 21st century, we're looking at elevating ourselves in a more higher level of dynamics and to bring the people in more involved into unification. Our ancestor, Marcus Garvey and Kwame Nkrumah, and many of the ancestors, and even with some of our new dynamic people that we have on board today, Dr. Ericana Chimbera, the former ambassador of the African Union, spoke about this 5-6 years ago when she addressed the General Assembly at the African Union. She was trying to tell them really what's going on here in these Babylonian nations. And we all know that sometimes Africa is delayed with the information that is being relayed across the world. And it's because some of that is systematically and is designed to be like that. But we here in the African diaspora, it is our responsibility to relay this information. The information is free and broadcast to the people, and it is a civil right that is granted to the people that they may have a voice. We are the voice of the people, and the New Africa Network stands very strong and dominant in this area to make sure that our people are being fed the truth and they are fed the information that is necessary to help them make informative decisions about what it is that they need to do to improve the lives of African people. So Black Power, there you have it.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that when it comes to the problem we have in Africa, I did not understand until when I come to Ethiopia. We have a very, very complex problem. One is the what you call in English jealous. Jealous is the idea that you don't want someone to move forward. You don't want someone to be happy. You don't want someone to have anything in general. So that is the biggest problem I found with Black people in general. Hence, you have people even on low level of things you do. People are so jealous on you to the extent they start even to destroy everything. In America, we don't have that. In fact, I haven't seen this on low level with African America to that extent. But African people who immigrants I was talking about, who come to America, they have that. Hence, you see one, for instance, you can find in Washington, D.C. area, you have like more than 30 churches, Ethiopian churches. The whole idea is not that they are doing the ministry, they are serving God. No, it's jealous. They see one is opening church and another one is going to open. Or you see small businesses, they call Ethiopian businesses. I'm talking about Ethiopian businesses, but it also goes to another countries as well. It's the biggest problem we have as African people is jealous. We don't want someone to climb on tree, at least to get a fruit there. If they're gonna eat for themselves or they're gonna give to us, we don't want that. We will choose to drag that individual, bring them down and step on them, not even trying to go up there ourselves. So jealous is the first thing, and is embedded in our blood, even young people. I never found people who have issue with ethnics and religions and regions where they came from or where they grew up. I mean, areas like young people in Ethiopia. It's just something that I had to understand. Very, very difficult. I don't think we're gonna be able to be successful to create a strong unity of Africa with this generation. If you talk, people will say, oh, it's politicians. Absolutely not. Citizens as well, they are a problem. Here in Ethiopia, I'm talking about. I don't know other countries. Maybe other countries may have different shape or different form of problems. But here in Ethiopia, actually, young people plus politicians are the biggest problem here. A very, very big problem. And they are so in touch with the ethnics, they are so in touch with the religions. They don't really think like if there is anything, they just follow what they were told when since they were a kid. So they don't really understand and they don't see if there is anything that can be changed. So and they are so divided to the point if you say something, someone is gonna classify you from this ethnic or from other ethnic. So that's one of the biggest problems. So I think some of the leaders, of course, it's difficult to govern these people. In fact, I just want to be honest with you. Trust me on this, brother Eugene, or anyone who is a leader. It's so difficult to govern Ethiopian people. I found that out.
Well, it seemed like it's pretty much all over the African diaspora when we have leadership and when you're discussing leadership. And it is very important that we understand that the leadership principles that we've learned has basically been from the leadership principles of our colonizers. And we must understand that there are many measures have taken place over the centuries that have been in place, old policies, old methods and old ways of going about doing things and handling business affairs as well as political affairs. And these things have not necessarily worked in the favor of Africans. But we understand this now, and I'm very optimistic. I know sometimes the clouds may get a little dark and there may be some storms in the background, but hey, that is what struggle is about. We are people who are built on struggle itself. And so we understand it is nothing new to us, and especially those who are in the African diaspora. I think sometimes the people themselves get blindsided by some of those issues that you just discussed. with moral intentions and not really understanding, being educated enough to really understand the dynamics of how new policies and things are being put into place. But it gets back down to the conversation again that Africa itself, there's a new scramble for Africa, and Africans must understand this. The Africans on the continent must understand that there is a new battle that is being waged to take the resources of African people. And we are here as the new breed leader African generation to make sure that those resources that are our natural, God-given, born-given, natural resource rights that were given to us from the blood that our ancestors had put into those lands, that those resources really, they belong to us. And so we know this now, and that's what have many of the Babylonian nations on edge. They realize that we are an awoke people, and the same games that they played on our ancestors can no longer be played on this new generation. And so, yes, they are trying to utilize the same old tactics that they've been utilizing for centuries. But with the common sense man and woman, these tactics are not working anymore. And we're going to make sure that those tactics never work again. We are not their slaves. We are not a people to be controlled and told what to do. And a lot of times they utilize their monetary resources to challenge us with this. But we got to make sure that as we're discussing the BRICS alliance itself and Africa being more engaged in on the BRICS alliance, what is it that Africans want to do to form their own alliance similar to BRICS? And this has been discussed with the as a part of the Pan-African movement. We must begin to become more self-sufficient, more self-determined. We must form alliances of unification and unity amongst ourselves so that we can bring on an alliance of our own to begin to solidify our own economic dependency. And so here we are in the 21st century again, coming back around to the same old tactics, but we're not going to let them utilize those tactics on us in this day and time. So go ahead, Brother Money. I'll go ahead and yield the mic and let you take over from here.
Yeah, so speaking on, there is a strategy that being put in place to actually take our natural resources. This is the interview done by Tucker Carlson, which you're familiar with, the ex-Fox News reporter and Colonel Army, Mr. What is his name? Colonel, I forgot his name. But anyways, listen to this and then I will come back. I'm going to give you a little shot on this.
Welcome to Candid Africa.
And nobody ever bothers to stand up and say, why? What are we doing this for? You just look what's happening in Africa. Niger decided they'd had enough of their French overlords. You know, the French retained ownership of virtually 50% of everything of value in their colonies in Afrique du Nord. Now, that's French business. Whatever the French want to do, it's fine with me. But my point is, we're involved there because we built an airstrip in Niger and we marched in there to defeat Islamists. The truth is, there weren't very many Islamists until we showed up. Now there are lots of Islamists. What's wrong with that picture? And now it turns out the whole population, in addition to hating the French, has decided they hate us. So we've had a coup in Niger. It's now being backed by the Algerians, as well as the neighbors. And people are saying, well, we trained them. We gave them assistance, and they're turning on us. Oh, it must be the Wagner mercenaries. There aren't any Wagner mercenaries in the place. In other words, that we may have gone in there and blown it on our own, made mistakes of our own, backed the wrong horse, whatever you want to call it, doesn't occur to anybody. Well, it must be those Russians or maybe those pesky Chinese. We have this unfortunate habit of seeing ourselves as always wearing the white hat, always doing everything right, and we miss the truth. And the truth is, soldiers, sailors, they'd had enough of their French overlords. You know, the French retained ownership of virtually 50% of everything of value in their colonies in Afrique du Nord. Now, that's French business. Whatever the French want to do, it's fine with me. But my point is,
did you hear that? He said that whatever France want to do is fine with him. Look,
of course, he's a colonizer. All colonizers are together. All colonizing nations are together. Of course, he would feel like that. But it doesn't make any sense to us. And they need to get out. All Babylonian nations need to remove themselves and restrict their interests to African interests. That's for real.
Can you say that like as that and he's right. What he's saying, he knows the documentation because France owns virtually 50% of the countries. And he said, whatever France wanna do with that, I'm happy. He don't even feel like if that was his dog, okay, and his dog, he buy $100 food, and someone come and take half of that food and live with $50 for his dog for 10 years. He would not even feel like something is wrong.
Right, right. And you see how small those nations are. All of those colonizing nations are no bigger than this. But yet they control the aspects of people and land, which is mega. And today, with the people being woke, it doesn't make any sense. And we've been propping these nations up for years. They've been monopolizing off of Black bodies and resources for many centuries. And this is not where we want to see Africa headed towards. Not now, not in this day and time. You know, you have little Britain, little England, little France, little Belgium, little Germany, all of these little teeny small nations with populations way less than the African nations themselves controlling the majority interests. And for on an accounting, if you're into accounting, and when you look at the rules of accounting principles, that doesn't add up. The money and the resources that are going out of Africa at the amount of resources and the value of those resources are not coming back into Africa to where you can see where the improvements are needed. Africa itself is almost 100 years behind all the rest of the nations of the world right now. And when we're talking about the African Industrial Revolution, this is the whole purpose of the New Breed Leader African generation, is to bring this into play right now. Many of the nations in Africa, with the exception of Kenya and South Africa, are almost 100 years behind all nations of the world right now. And we need to bring this up because most of the resources that the world consumes is coming directly from the lands where we come from, our ancestors come from. And when you go there to these places, and I want the next time you fly from Africa into these Babylonian nations, as you're flying in on these airplanes, compare the infrastructure that you see as you're coming in. Compare everything that you see from the new buildings that are being built, from the people themselves, hospitals. Africa needs strong medical attention all the time with the disenfranchised people who are living all over Africa, refugee camps and things of that nature. When you fly into these Babylonian nations, I want our African leaders to start paying attention to this, because this is a very serious matter. And this matter is affecting our well-being and how well Africans do worldwide today. If we have no leaders in place to understand this measure, and it's not all about Black nationalism, because sometimes when you talk about, well, we don't want to be seen as racist people and we don't want to cause any problems that's pertaining to, because the world is supposed to be for everyone. If the world was for everyone during the biblical times, why do you think God divided the nations up into their own little pieces of land all over the world so that they can be amongst themselves and carry out the things that they do best? And for us as a people of today's time period, we must realize that Africa is for Africans In order for Africa to be safeguarded, it is our responsibility to do this as a collective group of people. And this is the reason why we're having these conversations. These conversations are very deep and dear to us. We are people who are sick and tired of being taken advantage of. We are Black people who are sick and tired of games being run on us as opposed to what it is that we're connected to, generational gaps of being disenfranchised. And like our Dr. John Henry Clark says, and also many of our great scholars, they're trying to put Africans in a place of total dependency and also on a path of never being able to collectively catch up to ourselves equity wise. There's a term for that. I can't really call it right off the bat, but there's a term for this where it's a permanent underclass that we are being driven to. And we're the backbone of every nation. When you see African people in nations where they're living at, those are the people that are in the background really making things survive, both culturally, economically, and resourcefully. And we have yet to see the benefits of this. We're making some changes right now, and those changes are very vital to the survival of African people.
Definitely, yes. So, anyways, I think I'm going to have to end our program today because it starts raining here, but the discussion was very good. I'm so great that we have to cover this information, and we're going to still have to fight and to bring our people together. We're going to still try to fight and push whoever we need to push as much as we can. Is definitely the reason why we are here this season is because we can accomplish something, we can make something done. So, Brother Eugene, I appreciate for you to come in to contribute to our panel discussion today. And I think we will definitely be able to